Approaching women is so much easier than you think. I promise you, once you get over the fear of going up and approaching women, it's really not a big deal. And it's so important to learn this because in the modern world, if you're a guy, you cannot be on apps like Hinge because it's completely rigged against you. I've made a couple videos about why Hinge is so bad for guys and why these dating apps are so bad. So please feel free to check those out. But the problem is Hinge and these dating apps is now the most common way for people to meet each other. Not that people are really dating or meeting each other anyway, but it's mainly through online. And that filters out like 90% of men. So if you're a normal guy and you're not in like that top 10% of men, well, if you try to play the online Hinge game or DM girls on Instagram, you're fucked. So the only option is to really meet women in person. And that will always be the best option for any man is just go up to a woman in person and see how that goes. The problem is that's pretty scary. And most men do have a fear of rejection when it comes to approaching women. And that's holding you back. Because if most men are too scared to go up and approach women, you can very much set yourself apart if you just have the confidence to go do it, if you're not scared of getting rejected. And so the point of this video is to really convince you that it's much easier than you think. And you don't even have to be that confident. You don't have to be that good looking. You can just go up to women and just kind of be yourself and be funny. And you're going to have more success than you think. You're going to have way more success than you would otherwise on like Hinge or online on Instagram. And if you ever intend to, find yourself in a relationship or one day start a family, this is something you have to do. And this stuff is so important to me because it is political. The dating market is political because if we stay at the current fertility rate, if we stay at the current level where nobody's getting married, nobody's getting in relationships, nobody's having children, our country is not going to exist in 100 years unless we significantly increase the fertility rate. We have to get it to above 2. So that means effectively our population is going to continue to half unless we do something about it. It's a big problem, and there's threats like nuclear war. AI is going to cause a lot of problems. The national debt is a huge problem. But one thing that is going to kill us slowly, no matter what, unless it's fixed, is the fertility rate. It's a big problem. So the dating market is going to be a political issue. We have to try and fix it. And the best way is not to say, hey, idiot, go download Hinge and get 0 matches. No. The best way is to just actually approach women in person. And here's just like a psychological way to look at it. You're never going to regret going up to a woman and talking to her. Even if it goes so poorly, you're never going to regret it. You will always regret not going up and talking to that girl that you thought was pretty. All the times that I've gone up to a woman and like stumbled over my words and it went terribly, I always look back on that moment fondly. Like, you know what? I'm glad I had the fucking courage to go up and talk to her because there's also the times where I saw a pretty girl and I didn't go up and talk to her. And then the very next day, I think, oh, fuck, dude, I should have talked to her. So don't worry about that. It's never going to be as bad as you make it out to be in your head. And then a part of it is also you need to go through rejection therapy. You need to go out and get rejected and realize that it's really not that bad. It's not that scary. And it's usually going to go better than you think it's going to go. And so, maybe you start off going up to a girl that's, maybe a little below your league. So you get the confidence and then you increase that as you go. That's an option. But eventually you want to get to the point where you could spot a girl that you would actually be interested in. And you just have the confidence to go up and talk to her without even thinking. You don't think, you do. And the problem is if you're somebody that is, of high intelligence, it's very easy to overthink these things. It's very easy to sit there and say, oh, it's probably going to go terribly if I go up and talk to this girl. And it's just so easy to convince yourself of there's 1,000 reasons to not go up and talk to her. But sometimes you have to dumb yourself down, go low inhibition, and just do things. You can think all you want, but at the end of the day, action is going to be what is important. And so there's a few things that you want to do, right? You want to make sure that you're well groomed, you're well taken care of. You want to make sure that you dress nicely, you have a good haircut. You want to go to the gym so that you look as good as possible. Do all these things to kind of look smacks without doing surgeries to make sure you look as good as possible when you do go up and talk to women. So that's kind of the first step. The second step is going out and getting rejected. You have to go out and approach women to get comfortable with it. It really just is rejection therapy, right? If you go out and get rejected 100 times, you're going to realize it's not that big of a deal. And I promise you, if you go out and approach women 100 times, you're not going to get rejected 100 times. It's going to go a lot better than you think it will. Trust me. And so that's all fine and good, but what the hell do you actually say when you do approach a woman? Well, my best advice is to not think about it. Don't think, just do. You can sit there and try to think of, oh, this is a good line. I should say this. Oh, but then what if she says this? Then I should say that. And that's the worst thing you can do. You should just go up without thinking. As soon as you see a pretty girl, you walk up to her and then you tell her, why am I walking up to you? You can say, okay, well, I think this girl's attractive. I like the way that she is dressed. I think she carries herself well and she has very pretty eyes. And so that's exactly what you go up and tell her. You say, I like the way that you're dressed. I think you have very pretty eyes. I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Ethan. What is your name? And then you just get to talking from there. And that's like kind of the base level, right? That's not going to be the most exciting way to approach women, but that's the base level of you getting comfortable with talking to women. Once you get more comfortable, then I think it's more fun to just show your personality right off the rip. I know there's a lot of talk on the internet about gesture maxing, but gesture maxing is only bad if you're just sitting there making a fool of yourself. It's the meme of the guy being like, look at me, look at me. That's bad. No girl is going to be attracted to that. But on the other hand, if you go up and you don't really make a fool of yourself, you're just joking around, having a good time, and you don't care if she finds it funny, you're just there to have a good time for yourself, people are drawn to that. Women are attracted to that. So once you kind of get comfortable just like going up and talking to women, then I think you go up and just say a joke, say whatever comes to your mind. I was in a debate with friends about what would hurt more, a John Jones elbow to the face or a full punch from Ilya Taporia to the face. It's a classic guy argument. But I saw a pretty girl while I was in the middle of talking about that with my friends, and I just immediately walked up to her and asked her that very question. I literally just walked up to her and said, hi, what do you think would hurt more, getting elbowed in the face by John Jones or getting punched in the face by Ilya Taporia? She looked at me so confused, like, what? What are you talking about? You're crazy. And then, we just talked from there. You can just treat it like a game. Like you're there to have fun. It doesn't really matter what you say because getting rejected doesn't matter. You're there to have a good time. You're there to possibly go up and meet girls. So you go and have fun. And if she doesn't find you funny within the first 30 seconds, you can just walk away, right? You don't want to be with somebody that doesn't appreciate your humor, that doesn't laugh at your jokes. And so a lot of it comes down to just low inhibition and confidence. And this absolutely is the best and really the only way, I think, of genuinely meeting a good woman. Because Hinge, you're playing a rigged game. But out in the open, out in the world, your height doesn't matter as much as it does online. Your looks don't matter as much as it does online. Obviously, it plays a part. It's easier to go up and talk to a girl if you're tall and good looking. But if you're just charismatic and funny, you can go up to any woman in the world, make her laugh, and then, well, now you actually have a chance with her. Because laughter is the key to a woman's heart. And again, if we don't solve this problem, if men and women don't start dating again, if men and women don't start starting families, having kids again, then our society is doomed. Our society is going to collapse at the current fertility rate, and it has to be fixed. And this is the best advice I can give to men at the very least, is to just go up and talk to women and get over your fear of rejection. Get over the fear of the approach. Because it's so much easier than you are making it out to be in your own head. Stop overthinking. Trust me, I overthink everything. I'm a very introspective person. I'm the person that if I didn't turn off my brain, I'd be the guy sitting in the corner at a party thinking this is all fucking meaningless. But fortunately, I am wise enough to realize that that's no way to live. Sometimes you have to turn off your brain and just go have fun because you have to enjoy life. You really do. So what do you need to do as a man if you are interested in getting into a relationship? Well, first, you need to look as good as possible because that helps. So do soft looks maxing, then go out with friends and start practicing approaching women, have a few drinks, lower your inhibition, and just go up and talk to them and go through that rejection therapy. Then once you're finally comfortable doing that, you can start going up to women that you're actually interested in and just be funny, be yourself, and be picky, right? If she's not interested in you, if she doesn't find you funny when you know you're hilarious, then who cares? Like, walk away. If it's ever going bad, you just say, well, it was nice to meet you. I hope you have a nice night. Easy. That's your get out of jail free card. And with repetition, you will find a nice woman. They are out there. This is the white pill. I do think you have to reject the black pill because it's a nihilistic view of the world, right? It's that there's no hope, but there's always hope. That's a terrible way to look at the world. And so, yes, if you operate only on Hinge, only on Instagram, the black pill is very real. But if you're out in the world and you're going up and approaching women, there's hope out there. That's all I'll say. So if you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. And thanks.